Shalom, shalom, akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. It's just Bayan back again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to get into a brief lesson, and Lord willing, share some information with you, Akiyam and Akwath, regarding this Alien Sedition Act of 1798 that Donald Trump has been speaking of, where he's going to execute the removal of these quote-unquote aliens in the form of these immigrants that the Biden administration allowed to come in via when they opened up the borders. But we understand this is all a narrative that they're playing in efforts to execute a deeper, darker mission. Needless to say, we're going to tap into this 1798 Alien Removal Act. It's also going into sedition, okay? And we're going to tap into it through the spirit, and ultimately, that this demon has his eyes on the men of the Lord, man. All right, he's always had his eyes on the men of the Lord. This word, all right, is the number one enemy, all right, to this man's system, being that it's pretty much exposing him for who he is. It's pretty much knocking down the strongholds that they've set up since their as they call them, their founding fathers, and ultimately their target is this word, you see. But they're gonna work in the dark in efforts to target it. But they're gonna come to a point where they're gonna have no choice but to come, straight up with it. And ultimately, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, we understand that we're entering dark times. We're entering dark times, evil times, man. Time of persecution. Where the church is gonna be labeled, DTs. They're already, echoing, that label upon us. They have brothers on, they have certain congregations on lists, on T lists, you see, where it's crazy because ultimately, to be a terrorist, man, we're gonna say, you got to do terroristic acts, man. Okay, and the only one that's guilty of doing terroristic acts are you Edomites, man. You see, you Edomites, which is Esau is the so-called white man. You're guilty as charged for performing terrorist acts, domestic terrorist acts as well. Okay, it's you Edomite Christians, men, you Edomite so-called Christian men, man, executing these acts of terror, man. You can't just label somebody a terrorist, man. There gotta be acts of terror behind that label, man. And you guys fit that bill. You see? But we understand that they're gonna, they're gonna do what they do best, and slander and accuse and push forth false accusations in efforts to allow the narrative to fit their angle. But needless to say, we know they're gonna lose. They're in a desperate time. So therefore, they're gonna execute under desperate measures. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, I got a few pieces of information I want to share with you, Akiyam and Akwa, showing you that this damn demon is about to come down with great wrath, man. All right, he's about to come down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time, man. As a matter of fact, let's go grab that real quick through the spirit. The book of Revelations, chapter 12. In verse 12, and it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." Right, and this is talking to the servants of the Lord first and foremost, and you men, women, and children that believe the report. You see, the innumerable multitude, man, the elect. We are to rejoice. Yeah, persecution is coming. Going's gonna get tough. But guess what? These are the conditions of the battle. Us going through this straight gate, all right, is going to usher forth the kingdom of heaven, man. It's a necessary path that must be taken. See, but this is why we are to rejoice, because we know this. We know. The Lord let us know. 2 Ecclesiasticus, the 7th chapter, taps into how, the way into this. Matter of fact, let me go get that real quick. Let's just go get it. Real quick. We'll just jump right to the point. I'm going to jump down. I'm going to get 6 and 7 and jump down. The book of 2 Ecclesiasticus 7 and 6, and it reads, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. And this is talking to the kingdom, right? The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. Right? We're walking that straight gate, that straight path, that narrow path, right? That narrow path, man. But guess what? If we can get through, we're going to enter into that broad field. Let's jump down. But guess what? This is what's necessary. Look. I'm going to jump down. Matter of fact, let's read through it. And one only path between them both, 2 Ecclesiasticus 7 and 8, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once, right? This is why we got to seek our own salvation with fear and trembling, man. You see, we're gonna have to walk. We're gonna all have our own hour of temptation. You see, we're not gonna be holding hands into the kingdom, man. You see, it's gonna be a single file type of an entrance. You see, this is why we have to make sure through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're rooted and grounded. Continuing on, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? See? Meaning what? If we don't go through the danger, if persecution doesn't come, we're not tried like gold in the fire, how are we going to receive this inheritance, man? You see, look it. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. You see that? So this is why when you go back to Revelations 12 and 12, before this demon comes down with great wrath, we're being prepped through the Spirit. The Lord's prepping us, telling us what? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, man. Because we understand we got to go through the straight and narrow in efforts to enter into the wide, man. You see, we have to be qualified. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, right? Everyone outside of this truth. Okay? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, man. For the devil has come down unto you, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man in the form of the global elites, man. Devil going into what? A deceiver, a slanderer, a false accuser, right? Has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, man. And how does he know? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is showing him. See, what's the saying? Seeing is believing. See, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is allowing him to see that he's on his way. Because remember, Esau's a carnal man. He's carnal. So he has to see it to believe it. You see? So what the Lord's allowing him to do is see the divine power on display in the heavens, man. This is why he's given Esau access to these telescopes of a great magnitude and power that's allowing him to see into the heavens. And now the Lord's showing himself. All right, giving credence to what the men of the Lord are speaking about. Backing that all up. You see? So this man knows that he's speaking to his witches, his wizards, his stargazers, his monthly prognosticators, and they're confirming the word as well. They're saying, yeah, man, hey, something divine is taking place, and it ain't looking too good for us, as far as they're concerned. You see, so this man is moving in a haste. That's why they got Project Warp Speed in effect. You know, they're still moving in that warp speed approach. This is why they're stumbling. This is why they're making mistakes. This is why they're looking sloppy. But this man's gonna go into a wrath, man. All right, and his target is gonna be the believers, pursuing the 2nd Ezra 16. Those that it is gonna be a great insurrection against those that fear the Lord. You see, starting with who? The men of the Lord, man, and you faithful believers. Now, real quick, I got this video from this individual by Mike Urban. He's from over here in Boston. I came across this video he's going into regarding these ICE raids. He's got some information he's going to touch on. We're going to listen to this briefly. We may not listen to it in its totality, but there's some other pieces of information I do want to bring out through the Spirit. Yeah, so bear with me. I'm going to let this play. All right? Bear with me, Aki Amenakwa.
All right, guys, today we are diving into a topic that is making waves across the nation and, to some extent, hitting home here in Boston. So President-elect Donald Trump, whose inauguration is actually today at noon, I may live stream that, by the way, has announced sweeping immigration raids targeting major cities, and of course, Boston is on that list. Now, from what I was reading, I believe they may actually be coming here right after they head to Chicago, which is happening, I think, sometime this week. Now, sanctuary cities, they have really been under the microscope since President-elect Donald Trump is getting into office, and it seems as though a lot of Massachusetts residents are really split on what this means for their communities, their resources, and their safety. So today I'm going to share an article with you from the Herald and kind of cut through this noise, give you my opinion on this, and figure out what the heck is actually happening. So let's get into this article. All right. Trump administration set to conduct ICE raids in Boston after Chicago and New York. Now, I don't know if they're going from Chicago to New York to Boston or going from Chicago to Boston. I'm not entirely sure on that. They haven't given much clarity. President-elect Donald Trump is ready to pounce on the nation's illegal immigration crisis, with Chicago first on their list for an ICE sweep, sources confirmed to the Herald, with Boston not far behind. Sources told the Herald on Saturday that the U.S. Immigration Customs and Enforcement will conduct its first raid under the Trump administration in Chicago on Tuesday. So that's happening, I think, tomorrow. New York and Miami will follow soon after, according to multiple news reports. Boston and other Massachusetts sanctuary cities are expected to be a top 5 target for the Trump administration to conduct mass arrests of illegal immigrants, sources said, depending on how the rollout progresses. Trump has promised tackling illegal immigration will be a top priority when he regains office on Monday, pledging to oversee the largest deportation effort in U.S. history. There's going to be a big raid all across the country. Incoming border czar Tom Homan said on Fox News Friday night. Chicago is just one of many places. ICE is finally going to go out and do their job, he added. We're going to take the handcuffs off of ICE and let them go arrest criminal aliens. That's what's going to happen. The anticipated raids come as Massachusetts grapples with increasing homelessness and violent incidents at taxpayer-funded emergency assistance shelters. Governor Maura Healey proposed dramatic changes to the system last week, aiming to make it harder for arriving migrants to access the shelters designed for homeless families and pregnant women. John Featherson, who served as director of an emergency shelter in Marlborough in 23 and 24, and filled in on some of the shifts at the Revere site, welcomed the development that raids could happen soon here. Featherson, a conservative podcaster and Ashland Housing Authority commissioner, has blown the whistle on crime that has occurred at migrant shelters for months. It is great that we are finally going to reestablish law and order in Massachusetts. Women and children are at risk because we don't know the vetting process of some of these migrants who've proven to be criminals. If ICE is going to remove criminals from the street, every Massachusetts resident should be happy about it. Clearly they are not. And here we go. Others expressed outrage. The Boston Immigration Justice Accompaniment Network started during the first Trump administration. Annie Gonzalez, a volunteer, said she's been fighting to free people from immigration detention and shut down ICE ever since, raising money for bonds and supporting people directly. We are scared and furious. And we also know we are stronger together, Gonzalez told the Herald in a statement. We will keep accompanying our community members at ICE check-ins, court appearances, and fighting for everyone in immigration jail in New England. National news reports have indicated that the Trump administration will be targeting sanctuary cities and towns that limit cooperation with federal immigration officials, specifically areas with large immigrant populations initially. Healy, who has vowed that Massachusetts isn't a sanctuary state, briefly touched on immigration in her State of the Commonwealth speech Thursday, largely sticking to long-used talking points on the issue that Congress and the federal government have failed to pass comprehensive immigration reforms.
Right. And, ultimately, as you can see, so the target is you Jakes. And it looks like the Northern Kingdom, you're going to get opened up on first. You see? As a matter of fact, I got a quick article. Let me see something real quick. I got a quick article here. This is from IndianExpress.com. Bear with me. This is from IndianExpress.com. And it's dated, let's see if I got a date on this. Looks like it's dated January 22nd, 2025. And the title reads, Trump to invoke Alien Enemies Act of 1798. What it says, can it be used against immigrants? Okay? Now, when you get into the nuts and bolts of this act, which we're going to do through the Spirit, you're going to see clearly that it's a way wider range than just some immigrants, man. Now, let's read this real quick. We'll just read this paragraph here. Trump said the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 would help eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil. But its use against illegal immigrants is unprecedented. Here's what the act is and the 3 times it has been invoked so far. Bear with me. Now, it goes into a few things. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump out of this. And I got this right here. All right, when you go to Millstone National Archives, right, this is Millstone documents. All right, when you grab this act, this Alien Sedition Act, now as you can see, it's an Alien and Sedition Act. Okay, so you see the play on words here. When you get this word sedition, okay, God damn. It goes into what? The act of inciting discontent or rebellion against the government, right? It can also refer to the crime of creating or disturbance or violence against the government. You see, now the gospel, and we've been commanded to prophesy against Mount Seir, man. And the doctrine evolves around judgment coming to this place, man, via Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So do you think the ministry fits that bill? It fits it like a glove. Okay, showing you the true intentions, okay, of these demons, man. Okay, also showing you that we're about to come into a time of trouble, man. Because this act is not going to just be under the umbrella of removing some immigrants, man. No, man. It's wider. It's more broader than that. You see? Now, when we go into it, matter of fact, I got this highlighted. It says what? Now, you can read this whole thing yourself, Lord willing. If I can, I'll link it into the lesson in the description box. Now, we want this right here. Check this out. The Sedition Act made it a crime for American citizens to print, utter means to speak, right? Or publish any false, scandalous, and malicious writing about the government, man. Okay? And we're uttering it via what the scriptures say. You see? So the ministry will fall into this category. So listen, and we're entering into that time, man. This demon has his eyes on the righteous, man. You see? And he's seeking to slay him. As the scriptures say. You see? And he's going to use his laws in efforts to bring forth his mischief, as he's always done. But he's got his eyes on the woman, the remnant of the woman's seed, man. This is the reality of this thing, man. As a matter of fact, let's get this real quick. Bear with me. I'm gonna get that. The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 32, and it reads, the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, pursuing the Malachi 1 and 4. All right, Job 9 and 24, right? Psalms 37 and 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him, man. Okay, and the righteous will be the elect. The righteous will be the elect of the nation of Israel, but you know our whole nation was meant to be righteous. You know, we'll be our people will be all righteous in the kingdom, as it tells us in Isaiah 60. You know, but on this side, the righteous will be considered the elect, man. Those are of an upright conversation. You see, as a matter of fact, let me get that too. This is who he's targeting. The book of Psalms, chapter 37, same chapter, right? In verse 14, and it reads, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation, man. You see? So they've drawn out the sword. When you draw out your sword, okay, you're not drawing out the sword as a threat. You're drawing out the sword because you're going to initiate a deletion blow, man. You know, you bend your bow. Come on, man. That arrow is fitting the fly and pass through its target. You see? So this man's got his scopeo on the ministry, man. And he's slithering his way, okay, towards the church, man. Persecution is at the door. You know, and this upright conversation is this word, this truth, which is contrary to his ways, to his philosophies, to his lifestyle, because he's wicked. See, as Habakkuk tells us, you know, the soul that is in him is not upright in him. His soul is not upright in him. You see? He's a fork-tongued demon. So this word is offensive to him. You know? It's actually his kryptonite, this word. This is why he's going to target the righteous. As a matter of fact, bear with me. Bear with me. I'm just parking real quick. Con, let's close out with this right here. The book of Revelations, chapter 12. In verse 17, it reads, the dragon was wroth with the woman, right? And the dragon is what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. In the form of this revived Roman Empire. Western Roman Empire. And now this happened before, but it's going to happen again. Remember the 70 AD. You see? But it's going to happen again. What is then is now. There's nothing new under the sun. You see? And the dragon was wroth with the woman being who? Israel. Remember, Jerusalem is likened to a delicate and comely woman. Jerusalem being a people before it's a place, man. You see? And went to make war with the remnant of her seed. See, that elect. Those that are of an upright conversation. Right? Which, and this is going to prove it right here, which keep the commandments of power and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. And only the elect have the testimony, man. So this is who this demon is gunning for, man. All right? He's using these laws as he's always done, you know, which he's prescribed. You know, they're already sitting in a file waiting to be activated. They're prescribed. They're pre-written. You see, they just got to be activated. For instance, like when martial law is declared, there's something called summary execution that's green lighted. You see? But anyways, this demon's making his way. But it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Because at the end of the day, we know that this is our way into the kingdom. We have to go toe to toe with this demon, man. It's the only way, but you believe it. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is gonna be with us. Let me close out right here. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 5, because Yahweh Shai said it best. The book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10, and it reads, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Stay prayed up, Akiyam and Akwab, fast as well as pray. We almost there. We almost there. Evil is on his way. They're coming. They're coming, man. But guess what? So is Yahweh Shai. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwaf will edify. Shalom.